Hey Roadshow fans, glad to have you back. So, our last video from the great state of Michigan. That was an awesome time. So cool to have some friends show up, kind of surprise us. Definitely made the trip even better. When we left the great state of Michigan, we went back to our home state of Indiana for a brief period. Had a wedding to go back to. Had family wedding. I originally was planning on maybe giving some pictures, video from that little event, but kind of decided it wasn't really my business to put their personal business out there for the world. So I will just tell you that wedding was awesome. Glad to get to see all those people, and two really awesome people now started their life together. So it was cool to get to see that. I didn't really take any kind of pictures or footage of the campground that we stayed at because we were hardly there. So we got the wedding done, we left the next day, and we took off for the East Coast. We left Indiana with a plan to head sort of south and east toward Virginia and Virginia Beach area. So the plan was to get at least halfway, maybe a little farther before we stopped. And what I quickly found was about halfway is a huge campground, even Harvest Host, any place just dead zone. So I found a place and made a reservation. Now, we decided pretty early on in this adventure that we were not going to do negative reviews on places. Mainly because I pretty quickly started noticing that when people would do negative reviews, a lot of times, more often than not, it was very opinion based. Sorry, had a guest host decide to show up here. And so we stopped in West Virginia at a place called the Shady Rest Campground. Again, I'm not going to give a negative review entirely. I'm just going to give a small exception to the rule because this was more of a safety issue. Getting to the campground and getting out of the campground was probably the most treacherous and scary and borderline, definitely should not have even been attempting it type of thing that we have done yet. To say it was very steep, very winding, probably only a foot or two on either side of this little road of the rig, and was supposedly a 2-lane road. So luckily we did not meet up with anybody coming the other way. That would have been horrible. That's the main reason why I've kind of made an exception here. So unless you're in a very small SUV pulling a very small pop-up, highly recommend not even thinking about the Shady Rest Campground in West Virginia. So we got there, no frills, no nothing. I only hooked up electric, didn't bother hooking up anything else because I knew this was going to be a long enough to get some sleep and get the heck out of Dodge very first light in the morning, and that's exactly what we did. So from there, off to the great state of Virginia. Here we go. We have made it to our next stop. No hiccups this time. So welcome to the Americamps RV Resort in Ashland, Virginia. It is definitely a RV resort. I know that kind of freaks out some of you, but super nice place. But we are packed in here pretty tight, but all the accommodations are fabulous. Nice level site, you know, full hookups, everything you'd pretty much expect from a RV resort. We chose the Ashland area for its proximity to the Richmond, Virginia area. We actually stopped here for a few days because a co-worker and good friend of Angie's actually lives about 10 to 15 minutes away from here. She's going to spend a couple of days working during the day at her house, and then tonight her and her whole family are going to come back here so that we can do some grilling and some just hanging out, sitting around by the campfire, letting the kids have some s'mores. So should be pretty fun. Always nice to be able to catch up with people while you're traveling that you don't normally get to see. We'll get you some footage and some pictures of that, hopefully, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Hey everybody, back again in Virginia. As we talked about before, Virginia. We're here visiting with some pretty cool people. So, everybody say hi. This is Adrian. And that's all we're going to say about her because she's not important.
I need no more introduction.
So if you see her out and about, give her a big hi from us. Oh, wait a minute. She does. Yeah, she doesn't matter. That's Dan. He belongs to her. They belong together. And when you put the two of them together, you get an Alyssa and a James. Where's my thumb? I lost my thumb. Where's my thumb? So anyway, we're hanging out. Campfire's going. Getting ready to have some dinner.
And some s'mores.
And some s'mores.
Woo!
Gotta have s'mores. Can't have campfire without s'mores.
Right?
You're breaking some kind of law, I think. Right?
At least in Virginia.
At least in Virginia. In the state of Virginia, you cannot have a campfire without a s'more.
See? That's why we live here.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but since I'm running for office here in the state of Virginia, I'm going to make it that.
You have our vote. We're going to say yes. It's true.
Well, for you and all the rest of your residents, I'm really sorry about your luck. You don't want to vote for me. Anyway, check in with you guys later. Next adventure begins. We have arrived here in the Holiday Travel Park in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's a really nice park, as you can see behind me. Again, it is a RV park, so for those of you that freak out about that, you know, that is the case, as it may be, but this place is super nice. Every amenity you can just about think of. I popped my head in the laundry room just out of curiosity. Yeah, I think it was nicer than my house was. Nice pool that's still open because it's a nice sunny 82 degrees here. Huge cafe with all kinds of food. Super huge store and souvenir shop. We haven't even seen a speck of this place, with over 700 RV spots. Yeah, it's a big one. So we are here for a few days, going to go check out some stuff. I believe right now we're going to go find some ice cream. You scream, ice cream. You know the rest. So hopefully we'll get some good footage, some pictures for you. Talk to you guys later. Peace out. So the saying goes, when in Rome. So, when in Virginia Beach, do as the Virginian Beachers. Yeah,
Virginians.
Virginians, you get the point. So, today, we're taking a stroll down the boardwalk and down Atlantic Boulevard, the main drag through Virginia Beach. It's very cool. Actually, it's kind of cool today. Wind's blowing. It's only about 63 degrees.
It's nice in the sun. It's chilly not in the sun. We're not in the sun.
But, very cool area. The beach. So apparently when you're in Virginia Beach and you're strolling down the boardwalk, the touristy thing to do is come down and get your picture. King Neptune.
King Neptune.
So,
Sun's that way. You're gonna want to turn around. For sake.
that's fun. Let's do that again.
Don't do that again.
Alright, so if you're ever in the Virginia Beach area, right on the main drag, right on Atlantic Boulevard?
Atlantic Avenue.
Atlantic Avenue.
Then there's also Pacific Avenue, which is strange.
Which is
in
on the other
Virginia.
side of the Monopoly board.
Right.
So yeah, Doughboys, hit them up.
There's lots of them on this main drag, on the main like touristy drag in Virginia Beach. So I don't think it probably matters which one.
No, but that food was on point.
So good. I had Philly steak loaded fry skillet. So it came on a hot skillet like fajitas, French fries loaded with Philly beef and mushrooms and onions and just absolutely covered in melted cheddar and provolone. Oh, it was so good.
It looked really good.
So good.
I am an avid lover of the hot Italian type sandwich, and I can't even begin to count how many restaurants and different places I've had them. Without a doubt, that was the best one I've ever had. The cocktails, I was a little more of a fan than she was, but yeah, grab you a rum runner while you're down here. Some good
It just
stuff.
wasn't sweet enough for me. Sorry. And I like really sweet drinks, that's all. It was pretty good. I finished mine. It wasn't bad. Just wasn't my favorite.
So anyway, Doughboys,
Doughboys.
hit them up.
Oh, it was awesome.
Peace. Okay, so we're just finishing getting things buttoned up, ready to take off. Have a quick little reminder tip. Just kind of shows, doesn't matter how many times you set up, tear down, you replace things. Yeah, sometimes you just forget a step when you're in a hurry. So, I just replaced my whole house filter. Hadn't even been in there 48 hours. Nice, clean, bright, white. Well, then I realized it had been a little while, and I went and got a new one of these filters. Well, if anybody's ever used those, you know that they are charcoal filters. When you first replace them, you have to kind of flush them out, get all that residual charcoal and stuff out of there. Well, this time I forgot. So I hooked it up as soon as I turned the water on. This completely black and ruined. Wasn't even 48 hours. Looked like I'd run tar through it. So, lesson learned. So there's a little tip for today. Had a great stay here in Virginia Beach. The Holiday Travel campground it's really, really nice. Highly, highly recommended. Very nice and wooded spots, level. They have some gravel, some paved, depends on your preference. They are pretty tight. It is a resort, so you're not out boondocking by any stretch, but wow, this place is huge. You have over 700 RV spots, something like 30 cabins. I don't even know how many tent spots. 3 large heated pools, 2 huge camp stores, their own cafe, restaurant, and just mini golf. Yeah, this is definitely a resort. Great place if you have kids. So again, just wrapping up. Only have a few things to do. We were smart. We had the time last night, so we pre-packed a bunch of stuff. Highly recommended, because we actually have to sleep in a little bit this morning. So yeah, we're going to be heading out here in just a little bit. So stay tuned. See where we're off to next.